So Jim, you cover amino acids in the book. Why are they so important and where do we get them?
Well, David, amino acids are absolutely critical because you're made of amino acids. There's 22 amino acids, 9 essential, 13 non-essential. We're getting plenty of these 13 non-essential, but the 9 essential we're not getting because these amino acids are found in your meat, chicken, fish, poultry when it's a live kill. After the second day, when you kill the animal, these proteins quit spinning in the bundles and you're losing these 9 essential amino acids. That's why we have a lot of people that are amino acid deficient, which sets up the stage for a lot of these different diseases. Same thing when you take a seed, like you can grow wheat, you can harvest it, put it in a barn, keep it there 15 years, take it out, put it in the ground, cover it with dirt, water it, and it grows more wheat. But once you mill that seed open, the proteins quit spinning in the bundles and you lose these 9 essential amino acids. And today we have the internet. You can go on the internet and check out everything I'm saying and you can see what the statement I'm making is true. And that's why we have a lot of problems, because our flour that we're using for our baking goods was milled months ago, weeks ago. And when the animals were killed a long time ago, and that's a whole nother topic because they're feeding animals corn and GMO, genetically modified organisms and stuff, and it messes up the animal's DNA and then it transfers to us when we eat this stuff. So that's a whole nother topic.
So share with us the best way to get amino acids.
Well, David, the best source of amino acids, if you go and do your research, is raw eggs. And I know everybody's afraid of raw eggs because of salmonella, but if you go and research it, the FDA, the federal government, tells us that your chances of getting salmonella, and then if you're halfway healthy, salmonella isn't going to do anything. It kills the very young and the very old. That's because the very young were sick or they didn't have an immune system, or the very old, their immune system is down. And as Dr. B explains, when you become low on water, dehydrated, then the body borrows something from another cell and the cell is compromised and you don't want to recycle the cell, so it suppresses your immune system. And that's what happens when you're dehydrated. Then your immune system is compromised so that it won't attack these good cells and destroy them. And as soon as you give back, you replace what you borrowed from them, then the cells are back online. And that's what happens, and people don't understand it.
So give us some options for people to consume raw eggs. Obviously, there's the Rocky Balboa way where you crack them into a glass and drink them down. But I like to blend them into orange juice. You told me an orange Julius at the mall, the white, fluffy, frothy part at the top is raw egg. And that's served in thousands of malls across America, and that's a way to get raw eggs. But what's other ways you've found to get these amino acids that are tolerable for people to kind of transition from starting this program?
Well, if you can't palate a raw egg, actually if you take a raw egg, put it into a clear vessel and beat it up and taste it, it'll taste like vanilla. So if you got to disguise it, you can put it in orange juice or another type of juice. Another way of doing it is ice cream has raw eggs in it. Mayonnaise has raw eggs in it. Caesar salad has, if you look at it, it has a raw egg in it. So you have to disguise it with something. I mean, some people, they beat an egg up and put it in their oatmeal. I mean, you could put it into different things. You can be creative. You could put it into mashed potatoes. After you mash them, you can put it in there. Some people put ground up carrots in there. I mean, be creative. But you need raw eggs is the best way to get it. And if you can't do a raw egg, then do soft boiled or a poached egg, because the more heat you apply, the more amino acids you destroy.
Now, give us how much eggs you recommend, or Dr. B recommended in the book for someone starting out, someone with stage 4 cancer. What ratio of eggs does he recommend at different stages of health?
I tell people eat as many raw eggs as they can without growing feathers. In other words, if you could eat a dozen raw eggs a day, then the better off you're going to be. Because the body is made of, your DNA is amino acids, long, short, long, short, long, short, put together. And that's what you're made of. You're made of amino acids. And when the body has to start, well, the body uses amino acids from the liver to detoxify pH. In other words, if you stay acidic, the body uses amino acids from the liver to detoxify, to neutralize this acidity. That's why people should never drink soda, because soda is CO2, it's carbon dioxide. That's the number one way the body gets rid of acidity, is to exhale CO2. So when you drink soda and you put it into the body, it makes the blood so acidic the liver can't neutralize it. So the brain commissions a release of calcium from the bones to neutralize the pH. You can look this up on the internet. Now when you start compromising the bones with salt and amino acids, now you've got a major, major problem. We won't even go into it, but I think you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. So raw eggs, and like I say, you take 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. Is that kind of your guideline?
Depends on my activity. Sometimes I do four raw eggs in the morning and 4 at night, and there's sometimes I do 4 for breakfast, 4 for lunch, and 4 for the evening meal. It's like sugar. Sometimes I do a lot of sugar, and other times I don't need much, because as Dr. B states in there, and we also state with testimonials from myself and Joe Dupe in there and some other people, that if you get enough amino acids, then you don't require a lot of sugar. We have a unique system that runs on different things like cation, anion pumps. They give off no oxidation, but you've got to be topped off with everything. Be doing a lot of exercise and half your weight in ounces of water and the right amount of salt. Then you run on different systems.
So cover for our audiences this opinion on just consuming the white egg yolks, and you're throwing out the yolk, or you're eating egg whites. How does Dr. B feel about separating the egg white from the egg yolk for consuming?
Dr. B, he addresses that. He says it's like people buying, the king of all amino acids is called tryptophan. And a lot of people, in our country, you can't get it anymore, but you can go on the internet, you can order it from foreign countries. Well, if you take tryptophan, you're not balanced, because you don't get tryptophan by itself. It's got all these other amino acids. And Mother Nature, if you believe in the Creator, everything is balanced. So if you turn around and you're taking an egg, which an egg is a perfect food. It contains everything but vitamin C. And animals don't require vitamin C because their liver can manufacture it, synthesize it. We can't. So rats, guinea pigs, monkeys, they have to have vitamin C, so that's why they eat fruits and vegetables. They have to have vitamin C. So when you're taking an egg and you're doing only the egg whites, well, you're taking amino acids that aren't balanced. So then you start throwing your system off from doing that. It creates other problems. So you should be eating an egg the way it was given to us. An egg is a perfect food in the wild. Other animals eat other animals' eggs for this very reason.
Well, how does Dr. B address the widespread assumption that eggs create cholesterol?
That's a real interesting topic, cholesterol. There's no such thing as good and bad cholesterol. Go do the research and look up. Your liver produces 900 milligrams of cholesterol every day of your life. Your brain's made of cholesterol, your hormones are made of cholesterol. The myelin around all your nerves, that protective insulator sheet around there, is made of cholesterol. So Dr. B says it's insane to say this high density, low density cholesterol, that there's good and bad. It's not true whatsoever at all. Matter of fact, we quote some research in there that the higher your cholesterol level is, the longer you're going to live. So why do you only get blockages right here in these little capillary arteries of the heart and up here in the neck? Why wouldn't it be everywhere? Dr. B addresses this, he talks about it. So look it up. Your liver produces 900 milligrams of cholesterol a day, and if you do the research, cholesterol isn't even absorbed through the intestinal wall in your intestines. It just passes right through the body. So there's a lot of bad information about cholesterol, just like there is about salt and sugar. Everything you eat is converted to sugar, and you've got to have a horrendous amount of salt, but don't do salt if you don't do water. Don't do water if you don't do salt, and you got to have a lot of sugar. Everything you eat is converted to sugar. Even amino acids, if you don't give the body enough real sugar, a simple or a complex sugar, then it starts converting amino acids to sugar.
All right. Well, that was a great summary of amino acids. Thank you, Jim.